Welcome to the Tone Jerks podcast. I'm your host, Brian Gower, and with me today we got...
Kyle McIntyre. I'm here.
Oh, yeah, we're in it. What is new in your world? What is shaking? What is grooving? You got a lot of it. What's going on?
I got a new TV. Old one wasn't cutting it.
All right.
It was... old one wouldn't like connect all the time to like the smart hub and like Netflix and
Oh, okay. You're trying to dump it on me, but, you know.
well, you know.
It's good for you.
Yeah. You
Looks good on you, though.
plug up the PS4 you wanted to get.
That's what I need to get, yeah.
Yeah, and it'll be fine.
But anyways,
But
yeah.
in the house, I don't have that in there.
So the old TV is like
Yeah.
on the fritz. It's on the outs.
It's on the floor right now.
Give it the boot. And it was a smaller one.
Yeah, so it was a 40-inch. So we wanted to...
40 is pretty good, you know?
Yeah, whatever you got, I guess.
But
right? But I went a little overkill.
Okay.
But I think I like basically maxed the parameters of the living room. I think this is the largest TV I could go with. And I wanted to go bigger, and I'm like, let's not get... so anyways, I settled on a 65-inch.
Okay, Jesus. That's like 2 feet more than what you got going on.
Yeah. Fuck, it's awesome.
So it's like a movie theater up in that bitch.
Yeah, and then I got a sound bar also.
Yeah. Okay. What you need to do is surround sound.
Yeah, I don't want to set that up, and I don't want all the wires and all the...
Yeah, look ugly.
And spend another $1,000 on a system that was wireless or whatever.
Oh, okay, oh yeah, you can get wireless.
Yeah, they communicate Bluetooth or whatever.
But anyways. But yeah,
but it's
you
like
got
a small room.
Sound bar, and it's really not that big.
No, and like the sound bar is
Really,
actually it's a Yamaha actually. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't want... There were other ones that were more expensive and shittier sounding, or less expensive and a lot of wires. I'm like, let's just go middle. And
It was Yamaha speakers?
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing wrong with Yamaha.
sits right below. Yeah, and it's fine. I set it up, and I actually set up Hulu too. So I got that. I got a notification that I have Hulu now
with your
with
Spotify.
Spotify. So
Yeah. You let me know about that, and I was like, oh, I jumped on that. It's like, for $2. $2.
Yeah, a lot of people preaching $2 recently.
$2 a month is not a whole lot when you get some really good content, people. And we'll come back to that later. But for $2 a month more for your Spotify, you're getting Hulu. So I started doing that too.
Started watching like Invader Zim and Rick and Morty.
I started watching stuff that I've already seen before again. So I'm like, oh, they have Kill la Kill on here dubbed, and they have the Sword Art Online movie that I've seen 4 times. 5th time's a charm, baby. I started the movie, and I was like, what am I doing here? I closed my laptop. I'm like, I don't need to watch this movie again. I will later, but not now.
Not right now.
I was like thinking, I have other things I should watch, or I should
be productive,
go to the gym or do something with my life. Anyways, go on.
Yeah, so that's basically it. I mean, it's
new TV.
It's awesome, man.
You got some new entertainment system,
and it's so much like the actual processing power of the TV is so much nicer. The other TVs, you turn on the TV, it'd be like, okay, I want to turn on Netflix app. Turn on. Oh wait, sorry, you can't. You have to wait another like 3 minutes.
You gotta wait a little bit.
It's got to load.
Exactly,
and it'd be a black screen the whole time. This one,
can you play Pong or something here? Come on, man.
You probably could. Wouldn't steal a whole lot of processing power.
Yeah.
So, this TV, you turn it off. Let's say you're watching something. You're, I got to go to work, or I got to turn it off. Come back.
I gotta go.
It remembers it.
Wow.
It'll remember it's because it probably is robbing some power.
Mm-hmm.
But it turn on and it's like, oh, did you want to continue watching this? You're like, sure. I don't have to launch an app. This is quicker than even like logging on like with a computer.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, cool. So you're digging your purchase.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Good. Works for the homestead.
Yeah.
For the wife.
It's all it's
you guys can watch some whatever shows you watch, I guess.
Yeah. Watch some more Expanse.
Or
watch whatever's on Netflix.
Yeah. And Hulu now.
Yeah, Hulu.
You got it going on.
I did buy some gear though.
All right. So it's not all just fun and game.
I thought I forgot I got this pedal actually, and I was just playing it like 2 days ago.
Well, it's because you got a new TV.
I know.
Big, but you got something that's a little smaller.
but not that small. It's still a big pedal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got the Monument from Walrus.
So it's their trem?
The tremolo,
Gotcha.
So it's a full-on tremolo. It's not just like one knob or like knob with a switch or...
It's like, here's your speed and here's your depth.
Yeah.
You got a little bit more going on.
Yeah, you got your rate, depth, you have your divisions, and then you have your shape of the actual tremolo.
That's cool.
And then, of course, like a volume.
And there's also tap.
There's a tap, yeah.
Okay, so tap trem. I've never... you're just getting into it, but do you...
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It's cool.
People out there, do you guys find a use for a tap trem? I don't think I do.
Come on, people.
To me, I always like trem to be like just a little background. I don't like it to be like, oh, I'm using it to chop up my sound.
Yeah. Yeah, you want it to be more like a vibrato almost.
I kind of like just, in the back, just like...
Not where it's like...
Yeah, a little bit of a texture. There's like parts... Only actually, like, I used to use it a lot more, but now for like songs, I'll kind of just like... I really actually have like one song... No, so I have two songs that I use it for. One at a bridge in the very ending of a track that we play, and then also one where I just have like the lead up to the chorus where I go like an arpeggio, and where I just have a chorus going on with it, like, and I'm like, that's the only two times in the whole set that our own music that I use them. But I think I'm like, I want to have a good trem.
Trem with reverb's kind of cool.
It is. That's Flint.
Yep.
They're good. But no, I like it a lot. I think that's cool. Maybe like for you, maybe I'm option paralysis with the fractal that I can dial in stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm like, are you finding some cool sounds out of this bad boy or what?
Yeah. No, I was definitely digging it. I thought, oh yeah, I'll put the depth all the way down and get that like super, I don't know,
like
just
subtle,
Yeah, but then I all the way up, I should say. I was having the depth all the way up.
Opposite of me, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm cranking this.
Yeah,
I'm just cranking
like 5 o'clock.
Cranking that knob.
You know me. But then I started bringing it back and getting more of that vibrato kind of feel.
Or even just like more of a classic amp kind of deal. So
yeah, and I haven't really messed with a whole lot of the divisions on there.
Yeah.
But
there's
a lot. It's not just like your standard 3.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know a lot of what shapes are or divisions. So
your shapes?
You're going to have to tell me what these things are. I know like the shape with the square and maybe like triangle, but I'm like, or there's sine waves and stuff like that. I know my settings that I do for fractal are sine waves. And then these the square ones are for when you're trying to do like a so basically it's like on off. So it's like that's what to me trem is kind of. So there's harmonic, so it'll add like a little bit of a tone and kind of like stuff like that to it. So no, I haven't tried this yet.
Complementary.
Yeah,
I haven't really messed with the harmonic on it.
Mm.
I've just been put it in the standard.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot to go with this, and just for a trem, for you were mentioning earlier that you were like, oh, a trem is something that you were into. So you got the hummingbird and that deal. That's pretty cool.
I also have the one I built.
Oh,
and then I have the TR2, which is shit. No.
Yeah, I mean,
I just need to fix it.
You got some work to do on that one.
Obviously, I mean, back to that pedal. We're a little sidetracking here, but it's a good pedal. A lot of people use it.
Uh-huh.
It's the volume. Has some obvious problems with it.
The volume drop, but I think you overcompensated for that. Now it's just like
super, like it picks up like
radio.
the butt. Yeah, it's like like you're not even playing. It's just like you can hear the background noise of the amp.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think
slow down.
You replace parts in there that weren't correct. You kind of just guessed like this will be okay.
Yeah, because I didn't have the exact one that was recommended in a mod.
Like
I'm like
capacitor or something.
It was.
I'm just throwing out names.
It was a resistor, but I probably have the resistor now.
Yeah, I mean it might be a good one to revisit. And you do a trem shootout. The trem that you built, we've talked about it a while ago. That one's good. I like it a lot. It's like it was a Mammoth deal.
Yeah, from Mammoth. I think it's the Arcadia.
Yeah, that one I liked a lot. It was like, to me, I'm like, this is exactly what I want. And you're like, oh, I don't know. This one's not as like crazy as, maybe the hummingbird, or it's not, it's not like a slicer. I'm like, well, no, it's more of an amp style like deal. It's really cool. And you're like, all right.
Yeah.
If you validated it, it's good.
Yeah.
It might be fun to try.
I think that's just how I am. I want to keep finding new things.
Yeah. So you got that, and you have a little bit more to dig in with that. That's cool.
Definitely.
So you never really mentioned where did you get that from? Did you get it off like online or Reverb or what?
Closer, actually.
Okay.
You keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
But you keep your pedals even closer.
Yeah. And then when you buy them from your enemies, they're like in a middle area.
And you get them so close that you give them cash to get that. Okay.
Yeah. And then it's even Yeah. I think that's right.
You get them close to close. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. Ryan Burke from 60 Cycle Hum.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
so it's like
that's it. The
homie.
joke's over, boys.
Yep. Okay.
Right,
ran into the ground. But yeah. Okay. Cool. So he was.
He's a local guy. Showed up, picked it up.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. So it was like easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
He was a tough buy.
He was like,
and I was a tough sell.
He's like, I do not want to take your money because you know what? It's not green enough for me.
It's not worth it dealing with your ass.
Yeah. Hey, Kyle, you're like, hey, bro, what's going on here?
Hey, man. Like with my hands in my pockets walking in his house. Like,
you start kicking tires. I'm like, that's my kid's play set. Well, there's tires on there somewhere, I bet.
What the fuck?
You're just a fucking prick. Like you don't have to literally find tires to kick. Fucking learn something new every day.
Wear my
bro.
Newsies outfit.
Yeah.
What am I? Fucking
what are you like?
Shitty
an old gangster.
Yeah.
Oh, see?
You got that monument pedal around here?
Oh.
It's been a fortnight since I've seen one.
When there was such a different accent.
Yeah, I didn't like the first one.
I got to do a redo.
What's new with you, Brian?
Let's see. So I've played a couple shows with Brian Rash Ziegler, also our drummer for Playing Without a Pilot.
I do that all the time. What are you talking about?
I played a show with his band, just in case. I play bass for his band, for as long as he lets me do it.
Yeah.
And it's been fun. So I played 2 shows the past couple weeks. So the weekends, which are, it's good. Good weekend shows, good draws, good people. Good.
It's probably just because you're a bassist with your own gear. That's why he's
like,
continuously calling you up.
I thought because he liked me, but you're probably right. So, we played one of the shows you went to. It was Himmelberg's. It's a new bar venue downtown San Diego.
Yeah.
And it was cool. It was a cool little spot. Cool. Like, it was like a nice little PA upstairs. And it's just like, to me, I'm like, okay, cool. You got a couple 15s. You maybe got a couple 18s. Good sound. And it's fine. Just like, if you know how to like control your levels. And we were able to do that. To me, it sounded good on stage. But for you were in the crowd. It was... Whew.
It was hard. Certain things were like non-existent.
Boomy, you said?
Yeah. Bass was boomy and guitar was like, didn't cut at all.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I play bass, I'm like, nice. But
the time you play bass,
yeah,
you're stoked on it.
But it was I don't know. It's like it's a new venue, so I'm sure they're dialing stuff in. And for us, like it's like for us playing a new venue, we're trying to like figure things out. So for that venue, I went DI out of the Sans amp.
Yeah.
So I used your bass pedal board. I used the Terra Bass 500 combo. And I was like, okay, cool. So I was like, during sound check or whatever, he didn't have me going. The drums weren't really, Brian wasn't like full on. So I'm like, okay, only so much that you can do for sound check. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever, Guitar wasn't mic'd. But because he plays extra loud, like it's like...
Yeah.
Whew. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then Brian's like, hey, man, I can't hear. Can you turn bass up? So I'm like, just get it louder on the stage. I'm like, all right, well, let's turn it up to like 1 o'clock or whatever. And I'm like, it can handle it. And then I had him go DI, so just for stage volume. So it may have been the DI or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
well, also you weren't using the full pedal board capability. Right.
Yeah, I didn't have, and then I was mentioning, I was like, I didn't turn on the Earthquaker, the drive pedal. I was like,
Westwood.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I mean, I was like, oh, to me, I'm like, it's gritty enough. It sounds fine. It sounded good for me.
Yeah.
Through my wedges and on stage, I'm like, yeah, it sounds good. I don't know, but apparently, like you and Johnny were like, oh, it was a little bassy.
Something sounds a little different.
Or it was like, you
want your bass to sound bassy.
It wasn't like cutting. I'm like, well, for this, I'm like, I don't know if I really want to like be super cutting or whatever. on the cutting edge, cutting floor, like, so I don't know. So it's always like we talked about before. It's like, you don't know what you sound on stage. Like to us, I'm like, yeah, it sounded great for me. And then Brian, he didn't have really a monitor, and he was trying to figure it out. He's like, oh, no, I didn't really like it. I'm like, all right, cool. So maybe my bass was too loud because of apparently like trying to compensate for the drummer or Brian or whatever. Either way, it was good. I think we played really well, and it was fun. It was a good crowd. People really enjoyed us because they were like, oh, it's like I don't know. I think we're melodic. We're fun. We're easier to get into for just in case. We're kind of similar to how Plain is. It's like, you want to be tight. You want to be, like I don't sing for that band, but Brian and Adam do, the guitar player, and they have a really good complementary like style. It's like Brian's doing backups for Adam, Adam's doing backups for Brian, Brian's doing leads. It's cool. It's a lot of fun. It's like when you see a drummer sing, it's like, oh shit, that guy can hold it down. He's not just like barking at a mic. So that was fun. And then last week, I played a show down in Chula Vista, at Manhattan Bar. You didn't attend that one?
I did not go.
But it was a cool show. It's a good turnout. It's like a cool little bar. I've never been there. I've been meaning to make it down there for a show, but San Diego Music League put it on, and it was fun as fuck. But for me, that was an opposite experience to where I was like, that sounds like shit on stage. I can't hear a goddamn thing. Whereas everybody else was like, man, it sounded great. Like Johnny, even like, I know Johnny's not going to pull punches with me. He's the you look like
a snob.
You sound like Ashley Simpson or look like Ashley Simpson on stage. He's not pulling punches. And he said like it actually sounded, it filled up the room. Your bass was fine because I'm drowned out.
Yeah.
Because they didn't mic me. I didn't have a DI or anything. The guy was like, oh, I'll DI you, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna go smoke, drink some beers in the back. I'm like, all right, cool. You're gone for sound check. Fine. I can't get a DI. Can't get a DI. Can't get a DI. And then so the guitar player, like I said, he likes to play loud. So I'm like, okay, I got the terror bass. It's a little guy, but it packs a punch. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna have to crank it back up. We're doing about like 1 o'clock, maybe 2 o'clock here. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. It's
Jesus Christ.
I had the amp going, and I was like, man. I had the Westwood on, and I'm trying to like sculpt the sound with like the Westwood, the Sand.
Sculpt, and not shape. This is made of fucking granite.
Yeah. I'm just taking it.
My tone is set in stone.
I'm taking my tone for granite, and it's granted. So
that joke was travertine. It was supposed to be travesty.
What? You can't fucking let me have that, bro. Anyway, so I was like, man, I was like, I felt like I wasn't heard at all, but I was like, at certain parts, I was like, oh, you can hear me. And then other people, it's like, no, you filled up the room really well. Because it's not a huge bar, and it was kind of shaped like an L.
Maybe they're talking about how fat you are.
Yeah, okay. Dang, dude.
Your tone.
Yeah, okay. Dang. Pack it,
Well, you made fun of me last time.
You're packing some heat here. Did I?
Yeah, you did.
I'm sure I did.
Yeah.
Any episode with the Tone Jerks like stamp on it, I'm like, yeah, I probably did.
Yeah. You still put up the disbelief. Really? Did I? I did.
I probably did.
I did.
I'm gonna take your word on that one, buddy.
Dude, you're fat, man. Thanks. I ain't talking about your tone.
My shadow weighs 22 pounds. Yeah, it was like, okay. And then like people say, no, you actually sounded really good. I'm like, oh, I thought we sounded like shit. And I'm like, not that we like played poorly or anything. Yeah. It's like, I'm like, I don't know.
Mix.
I'm like, you got to take what you can. And to me, I'm like, I don't have a head anymore. I don't have a cab. So I'm just got to deal with like my combo that I have here.
You made your bed.
Yeah, I made my bed.
Should have brought the 410.
I could have borrowed your amp, but I was like, no, it's fine. But so far, apparently that amp is still good. Yeah. It works out. You got to just kind of like, if you play a bar with like no monitors and like bare bones, vocals through the PA, you kind of got a deal and just like, well, here it is. Apparently sounded good.
This is me, boys.
Unless everybody was like blowing smoke up my ass because they knew I was just like, what the fuck you say? My tone's good, right? Fucking good. So it was fun. It was good. And I got to say, like, just a follow up, that mono Vertigo, the bass case, real fucking hit.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, man. So the Himmelberg show, Johnny came to that show. and he was able to give me a ride, and he was like, oh yeah, I'll cruise out, and he was able to park really close, and he dropped me off, and he parked like just down the block. But I was like, able to just walk up with like, okay, I have my amp, I have my pedal board strapped to the bass, and all my cables in the bass like pocket, and then I just like carry my amp, which is like, not too bad. It's maybe like 40 pounds or less. Just I can walk it up the stairs. Here we go. Boop, 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 boop. And then I was like, and so when I got to play the Chula Vista, I still had the same rig. I'm like, I'm gonna carry it. And I was like able to wear the bass like a backpack, have the Nano pedal train strapped to it, and then have all the cables inside the pocket of the mono case, and then carry my bass amp. And I was like, parking was shitty there.
Even in Chula Vista?
It was just weird. It was like only so much here, and apparently you could have parked in some blacked out parking lot across the street that nobody told me about until like I was already parked. Yada yada, whatever. So I'm coming in hot here. And so, and then, and so I'm like, but I parked like a block and a half away.
I parked a block away.
And so I'm like walking, and as I'm going, I'm like, man, this is not bad, not a bad buy. I'm like one trip, and I carried it my whole rig as a bass player. I'm like, this is good. It sounded great. So anyways, and then it was so good that Adam, the guitar player from Just In Case, he bought that same guitar case. He bought that same version, but for guitar. He's like, oh man, this thing's pretty cool. It's like, because he saw me, he's like, this thing's padded, it's great. It's like so many pockets. Like, this thing's fucking a pro gig bag. I'm like, it is.
Yeah. We've always talked how good gig bags are.
I think gig bags are shitty unless they're mono. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I'm like I said, I'll backtrack on how, if I don't think gig bags are good, but I like the mono ones.
I remember I had a gig bag that
it was like
so shitty.
I've had those too, where they're just like
parachute material, like parachute pants.
Yeah, it's like
with padding.
Yeah, it's like those car sale balloon guys. It's like that, but but a guitar case.
It's like one of those like lawn ornament things people have for the Santa Claus,
Christmas or Halloween.
Yeah,
this is Halloween. This is guitar case. This is guitar. It was horrible. It's like so they weren't good. They weren't good back in the day.
I remember the one I had.
It's like just put a trash bag over your guitar. That's all you need. It's like that's the same fucking thing.
They right where the tuners and everything at the headstock, there was like that foam, like a little more foam at the top. Like that's gonna do anything. All it did was
bend them.
Shred. No, it shredded. Oh. And so you pull your bass out, and you have like the nasty decomposing foam all over the fucking headstock. Damn it! You have to blow it off. It's I remember that. And then of course your guitar's out of fucking tune.
Yeah.
And then you're a kid, you forget to put batteries in your tuner. Yeah. That wasn't a pedal tuner. It was like the stupid one with the dial on it.
Yeah, I think we've had, you and I both, I had one that was like a hand-me-down case from Guitar Shop, and I think you had one that was like a Fender.
I think it was Fender, but it was so floppy.
They were just so shitty. And
it
now
was just like a dust cover.
And it's but the foam became shittier dust that you couldn't just blow away. It stuck to the...
It was like a body bag
for a guitar. Fuck.
Dang.
I don't know. I think it's just back in the day, it's like the gig bags were just so shitty. Yeah. And then now I just think if the standard for me, if it's a mono case, it's good. Everything else is probably still shit.
Yeah.
The music area ones are probably good. I've seen videos 60 Cycle did stuff, and I've seen them around. I'm yeah, they're probably good, but mono, I know they're good because I own them and I use them. They will hold up. So I recommend getting them. I've talked to a couple of people, and they're like, yeah, you know what? I probably should get one of these. I'm are they cheap? I'm absolutely not. They're probably double of what you should pay, but I like them. Yeah. But yeah. I got another quick one.
Okay.
So
I'll allow it.
I have sold some things. And by things, I mean a single thing. So I sold another thing this week. I sold a 6-space rack case. So one of those Roadrunner ones is the tour case.
Yeah,
It's like the hard wood, with the what?
Fuck, man.
The case itself is heavy as fuck, but it's durable and it's 6 spaces, so it's big and it's pretty deep.
Yeah, I remember that thing being like 80 pounds
And
with all my shit
with all
in
the
it.
shit in it. It's like because we filled the 6 spaces up. Because like, we got space, fill it up. Anyway, so it's been in a closet, and I was like, I've just, I'm just like, why am I holding on to this? It's just like I fucking like, it's cool, and it's just the idea of like, we're gonna be a big touring band, but if we do like go on a big U.S. tour, a big world tour,
I ain't taking that.
We're packing light. We're packing light. We know better now, So selling the stuff in it, and the thing is, I had a lot of rack gear in there. So there was the power conditioner.
Yeah.
Was a Monster Power 900 or whatever. So yeah, they're good. A rack tuner, which I like rack tuners, but I'm like, I'll never have a rack based rig anymore.
Yeah.
If anything, I would, if I wanted to have anything in a rack, it would be a Fractal, which has a tuner in it. So I'm like, all right, not that the rack tuners are bad, but if like, unless you're a bass player with like the tuner out and a rack deal, it's anyway. So I'm selling that, and I'm gonna sell like a Sonic Maximizer, which I like. They're cool and they sound good, but I'm like, I have pedals and I have stuff and EQ and stuff like that. So selling that, and then the rack case itself. So put those all on Craigslist. So far, the one thing that has buzz is the rack case. And so I had a couple, a couple people biting and like maybe like dicking me down. Like, cause I put up there, I'm like, we'll trade for pedals. I'm like, I kind of was like, cause my whole thing is like, I want to try pedals, and also like pedals I'll put on reverb and sell.
Yeah.
Cause you can put up like a normal basic bro
Behringer.
like, yeah, or TC or Boss or whatever, and like that'll sell even if you don't like it, or if you're like, even if I get something that you already have, I'm like, oh, I'll just sell it.
Yeah.
Or if I get something that you don't have, I'm like, oh, maybe you want it, whatever. So
Yeah.
like, just, and the thing is, like, what's smaller than a big rack case? A pedal. So it'll get the space too. So I was like, okay, cool. Sold that because somebody hit me up. I had a couple people dig me around, like I said, but one guy hit me up. He's like, paid exact asking price. Picked it up right away. He was local. It was cool. We just, met up, and he was asking me a couple questions like, oh, hey, it's like, I'll buy it, but I'm like, do you mind if I bring the piece of gear just to see if it fits? I don't want to buy it and have it not fit. And I was like,
dude, it's a standard rack size.
No, there are different sizes. There's shallow ones.
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand.
Oh, the depth. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
And,
I know the width is fine.
And so I was like, okay, no, I mean, I understand. That's fine. Bring it. And I'm like, if you don't, then it's fine, because I'll meet locally. Like, locally, I mean within like half a mile away, from my house. I'm like, cool. Whoa. And so, it's not gonna be, a big deal. No sweat off my sack, So anyway, so I met him up, and he's cool. He's like, oh, I'm like, okay, well, hey, what are you trying to fit in here? He's like, oh, I just bought a Fractal XFX2 XL Plus. I'm like, yeah, dude. And I was like, just like talking to him. I'm like, this will fit. I'm like, I have one. It's totally gonna fit, but whip that shit out and let's throw it in here.
Whoa.
And then he's like, cool, and it fits. He's like, oh man, I'm trying to get into a rig that's like, it'll be a rack, but it will be my everything. I'll have a power, conditioner in there. I'll have a power amp in there, and I'll have my Fractal, so I can, because I'm like, I'm a guitar player and a bass player, so I just have to switch this for every cab that I, use for both or 3 or 4. He was talking to me about all the bands he's in. It's like, I'm like, that's kind of what you need, because I'm like,
yeah,
just set your patches, because I'm like, there's really great bass sounds with the new Aries update that they just did. I'm like talking to him about it, and he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, update your firmware, da-da-da. And I'm like talking to him like, yeah, if you go to the Fractal website, I'm like, I'm talking to you too much about it. You'll figure it out,
just listen to let me just show my podcast to you.
I'm like, just give me my fucking money, bro. And yeah, it was cool. So I got the money, and he had that, and I was
That's
like,
a good experience.
I like that. It was a good selling tool. So I'm stuck with some rack gear that I'm trying to sell. I might throw it up on Reverb. I just don't want to deal with the
shipping.
If it doesn't fit into like one of those like, was it
flat rate?
Yeah, flat rate deals. And I'm like, oh,
none of them will.
Gonna be a bitch. I'm like, I have to guess the shipping, because I'm like, luckily with the amp, I guessed the shipping correctly in my favor. But I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't. No. But it was fine.
No.
Hey, I took the time, and the guy gave me 5 stars. Okay. But I don't want to.
You didn't tell him you conned him out of some money.
Yeah, no, it was my time. It's like, you know how long, the materials that I had to use to pack that thing.
Minimum wage in California.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it was overtime, actually, because I had already worked my 40 hours.
Jesus. You report all that?
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm stuck with this rack gear, which is like, it's the reason I'm selling the rack gear and I don't want to use it anymore is because it's kind of too big. It's not good for gigging, which kind of brings it into a topic I want to do. The first topic.
Yeah.
And, once you introduce this, Kyle, we hash this one out.
Yeah, we've talked about this one before.
There's some good stuff that are, bigger gear, but I'm like, it's not really the best for gigs. You kind of want to, sometimes gigs, you want to be, on the run.
Yeah, so this is your ungiggable rig.
Mm-hmm.
This is your riggable, ungiggable, giggable, riggable.
The gaggable, giggable?
Yeah, the dirigible, riggable, ungiggable rig. So,
yeah, this kind of inspired by, they don't listen, but whatever, we'll shout them out anyways. The Guitar Nerds, Matt Knight. I don't know if he's still on the show anymore. I haven't heard him. But he has like, just his bedroom is just like the biggest fucking rig he can think of, like weird stuff, MIDI switch, it's like multiple amps for a bedroom, I guess. Which is cool. It's cool, fun stuff. But I'm like, hey, what is the rig that we can think of? Like, let's limit it down because like we don't want to have like a 4-day podcast here. Okay, 10 items that could be like a bitching sounding rig. But you'd be like, I'm gonna need a van or a box truck to bring this to the gig, or like I need a lot of friends to bring this, whatever it is, and you don't want to do it by yourself. Hey, that shit's upstairs, bro. Now you got to bring your whole rig up there. But it sounds great. So this is kind of the topic here. So that's 10 items that could be a really killer, ungiggable, riggable, giggable, gaggable rig.
You didn't repeat it exactly how I said it.
I don't, and you can say it again if you want, or you can just copy and paste.
Nope. Yep. Insert here.
All right.
So did you want to go first, or did you want me?
So 10 pieces. I could go first.
Yeah, I think you should
go. Deal with this. It's pretty good. So I've mentioned this one before, but he has a new version of it. So, reverb, we like it, right?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of spring reverb.
Yep.
But I've only played spring reverb pedals or algorithms in Fractal or Pro Tools.
Yep.
Or I played, an amp spring reverb, which is pretty all right. I want a reverb unit.
A tank, right?
A reverb tank. And Nocturne Brain, he has the F-Bomb, which he has the 63 that we had mentioned way long ago. But he has a newer one that came out, I want to say within, around fall or maybe wintertime, recently. It's the F-Bomb TV.
Okay.
It is the tremolo, reverb. So tube, tremolo, reverb, actual springs unit.
Dang.
And to me, I'm like, well, that's what I want for my reverb. That's my reverb effect. And then, delay. We like the tape delays.
Yep.
I want a real tape delay.
Which
I'm going
one?
to go the full tone tube tape echo unit. It's one of the ones that, I remember seeing old videos of Gaslight Anthem playing, and he had only a couple effects. He had that tape unit going and maybe some drive pedal that he switched out all the time, but it's he had an actual tape unit.
Dang.
It's like when he had the delay parts, he had a real tape thing. Because he was doing the old school Fenders, 52 reissue telecast. He was doing old school stuff, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna have old school tape. That doesn't work for tour. He kept on talking about this shit always broke. The tape always broke. I mean, it's not meant for tour. But
it's not meant for dry road. It's not meant for
it's
picking up, setting down.
No, it's actual tape unit with tubes in it. That's that your echo delay unit. I'm like, okay, that's cool, but you can't gig with that. You can't tour with that. I can only imagine if you're the one loading that into the fucking venue. Do you want to bring that in there? Probably not.
Hell no.
And so that's what I was like, oh man, that'd be super cool to have though, if you're not gonna gig with it. And then I forgot to mention, but with the Nocturne Brain deal, we played the F-Bomb from Jim Bowers. He brought it to San Diego. We actually got to try it. Sounds bitchin'. Sounds great.
Yeah.
And that's one reason why I'm like, oh shit, when I saw he had the TV trem, reverb deal, I'm like, trem verb. I'm like, still can't afford it, but that'd be tight. So I'm putting it on my list. So got those two bad boys. And then I got more effects here. So a rack unit. Going rack units here.
All right.
Going the TC Electronic, the 2290, the dynamic digital delay. So so many, TC obviously emulates it. Boss does. Like Fractal has an emulation of the 2290. I think
What's it called though?
I think they call it the 2210.
Jesus.
They just call it the 2210 digital delay. I'm like, so they're just like, let's throw numbers together. Yeah. We're not doing the
as long as it's 22 and then some random.
Because it's like, oh, it's 2209. Well, that's too close. Well, 2210. Because there's one more than 09.
It's better.
Yeah. So it's like a full on. It's like those run at least $1,000, maybe $1,500 dollars for a rack, single space rack unit digital delay. And that's the one. That's the one where you think of digital delays like that, or Boss, DD3, DD, whatever. Those are digital delays.
Yeah.
But I'm like, the Boss one is small. I want the big one. So I'm going to go TC Electronic deal. And then I got another rack unit. I'm doing the Shinai Vibro. The U.
You're killing my vibe, bro.
Yeah. My vibe, bro. The U915, it's the rack chorus and vibrato. And because I'm like, you got to get some modulations up in there.
Jesus.
I'm going to get a rack. I already have a rack going. I'm going to have a rolling rack case probably, or maybe several for my rig here. So I'm only talking effects currently. So I'm also going to do, because I got to have wah, I'm going to have my rack wah from Dunlop.
Yeah, they make one of those.
The Crybaby rack wah.
Is there a signature one?
I think so. I know that they
make some.
John Petrucci,
I
believe. He does his pedal, which is a wah pedal. He takes a lot of the...
I thought it was Joe.
Is it
Joe Petrucci?
I thought it was John Petrucci.
John Petrucci?
No, I think
you're
Joe Satriani.
It's George. George Petrucci.
George of the Jungle is what you're thinking of.
Oh.
But John Petrucci, he has his wah, which is like a great modern take on things, because instead of using the rack wah, you have a lot of your controls on the wah itself instead of having a remote control. But I'm like, I got a rack space going with the Shinai and TC. Might as well throw that in there.
How many rack? You got some open space probably too.
Yeah, because I need to control those things, and my amps that I'm going to talk about, I need have the RJM Mastermind, which everything locks in there and it's MIDI controlled, and I'm controlling all my
shit.
Yeah, the parameters and everything of the switching and the controls of the other rack units. So I have another space in there, which I'm going to, all the other effects that I don't have with those, the tube, echo and the tape and echo and the, spring reverb and stuff like that.
You need another delay probably.
No, I'm going to get a Fractal XFX 3.
Oh.
I got a couple spaces.
Space for it.
I got 3 spaces in that rack, and I throw that in there. And I can do some more MIDI controlling with that.
You probably put a microwave in there too.
Yeah, so I'm like, might as well just get that, because I got 3 spaces.
Just make sure you have proper shielding around that.
XFX 3, and I can run a control switch to do that. And I can control that with the Mastermind if I really needed to. So I need some amps to run those things into.
I mean, you don't need them, but yeah.
I'm doing the Mesa Road King, which is the up to 150 watt amplifier that has 4 channels, which you can do switching between. There's 2 sets or 2 types of tubes in there. There's 2 EL34s and 4 6L6s, and you can do a combination of those and mix different styles. I'm like, yeah, you have your gain tones, you have your crunchy tones, you have like your cleans, all that in there, and it's controlled via a MIDI foot switch, so you can do that with the Mastermind. And then I need a classic tones, so I needed them. So I'm gonna get a satellite Atom, so I can have it clean, and then I can crank that bitch. And sometimes when you want to run more of the vintage styles of like the reverbs and tape units, do that. I'm gonna do a satellite Atom, just crank that into my cabs. I'm going to go a little
What
weird.
number are you at right now, by the way?
This is the last one. I have I'm gonna do Janus cabs.
Okay.
So I saw some of these in different rig rundowns for different bands, but it was also for brand new. They had one.
Yeah.
Janus cabs. They make custom cabs. They do some weird stuff. I'm gonna do a 6x12. I'm jumping these together. So I'm cheating here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a 6x12 cab, and then I'm gonna do a 2x15 cab, so I can get the lows and
together.
Yep, that's my one cab.
No, all right.
No, I'm gonna.
You have to put them together for maybe one cab.
Okay.
You can't cheat on this one.
All right, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna
Just
do
put
one
some strapping on them.
I'm gonna do one cab, and I'm gonna do it like tic-tac pattern back and forth, like hopscotch. Do the 6x12 and a 2x15 all in one giant cab. How about that? This is my 10 pieces.
It's custom.
It's pretty good stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I'll have them wired differently. I have the satellite going into one, and I'll have the Mesa going into the other.
All right.
But they'll be wired separately, but in one box. How about that?
Sounds like you already placed the order for all this stuff.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to go. So that's a hell of a. I mean, imagine if you showed up and like, we're ready to go, boys. We're gonna play in front of the 20 people here at the bar.
Yep.
And by 20,
might as well stretch, boys.
Yeah, get it up the stairs.
Just that rack unit alone probably weighs like 120 pounds.
And no, the cab would kill you.
Oh yeah,
because you made me convert it into one.
Yeah,
but that's my. I think. I mean, all those are like. There's no slack in there. They're all good. They're all pick it up the weight. What do you got? Give me some of your list, Kyle. Go.
All right. You got to start with the Rhodes. Got to have a Rhodes.
Yep. That's damn. Okay, you're starting off the gate here. Yeah. Good stuff.
Start off big, bulky.
Yeah.
Fragile.
Very yeah.
Okay, and then a bassman head. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, like a old 60s,
old school,
like 50 watt or something like that. Blackface.
Throw it on a 6x12.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay, and then I mean you're gonna need a Space Echo. You're gonna need a RE201.
Yep. Nice.
You have to have that.
Well, yeah, because that's the you got to get your
that's something that shouldn't ever leave the studio.
You got to get
but you got it on stage.
You got some space.
Yeah. There's some space in the U-Haul.
Yeah.
And then because it's like really big and doesn't need to be that big, I picked the Sonic Maximizer rack unit.
Yeah. Because
I don't have any rack, so it's on the floor.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's probably underneath. It's actually underneath the Space Echo.
Yeah, it's like the people who put pedals on the floor. No, we're putting rack units on the floor.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Better not step on those knobs and break them off.
Yeah.
All right, and then
if you break it, you can buy mine.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I'm gonna have the mic stand beer holder. So I'm gonna have my beer, just you lock it right on there. That's part of my rig.
I see those a bunch, and I kind of I can't tell if they're ironically doing it, but I have some friends who do that, and they're like, "Yeah, man, it's always right here."
Hell yeah,
that's
very daddish.
It's a very dumb idea, but it's also like that's pretty cool. I have a clock on my pedal board.
Yeah,
I can't judge you, man. I can't judge you.
We are one and the same. We have different priorities, but we like to think ahead.
Yep.
And then a Fender 1963 spring tank.
Yep.
Original,
right,
not a reissue.
Yeah,
okay. Because that shit is fragile as fuck. I bet the glue holding the wood together is about to break. So
hold on for dear life.
I'm thinking of fragility on all this shit, right?
Yeah.
And then of course another bassman with a 6x12.
Another one.
Yeah, you got two. This is my stereo rig.
Oh, gotta have two. You gotta. All right.
And then the concrete block Big Muff. So just
oh.
Yeah, it's
that was another clickbaity kind of thing or whatever, but it was real. It was a Big Muff into a concrete block.
Yeah, and it sold for $500.
Shipping was probably a killer.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! No, that's good. Damn, that made something that was okay, we got a tone here. Now we have a tone here that's ungiggable. Now, okay, damn, okay.
That's it. That's my 10.
Damn, that was good.
And I repeated the cabs, the amps.
Yeah, dang.
So
that's a good one. Fuck.
No, there's hardly any effects in there.
There's no fat in that. Yep, you got it.
You got some dirt. You got some delay. You got some reverb. What more do you need, man?
You got 2 amps.
Yeah,
that's good. Good stuff.
A shitty dirt pedal made of dirt.
Fuck, that got me. All right, cool. That's some. If you guys can think of any really cool like pieces of, gear that are just like a little impractical to bring out to a gig. But
are perfectly fine to use.
Yeah, they sound good. But I'm like, hey, this is not. I'm not gonna bring this to the gig because, one, I don't want. It's fragile. Two, maybe it's so fucking heavy. Maybe it's like, it's like, why bring that when you can have like something in a pedal, whatever it is. I'm like, do you want to dedicate a whole rack space unit to a chorus?
Yeah.
Well, hey, but it's a really good one.
And the point I should have made on the Big Muff was that the reason why it was ungiggable was because it was a Big Muff.
Yeah, you just leave it off.
Not because it was a concrete block.
Oh, fuck. Anyway, so if you guys have any more, let us know in the group or whatever, All right, Kyle. It's a loose topic here. I wanted to jump on. What do you say? You ready?
I like loose topics.
Like a fast and like a loose. So, drop tuning.
Yeah.
I'm doing that a lot in Just In Case. It's their style. They do a lot of drop D. They play an E standard and they drop it to D, and half the set is drop D. The way we structure it is like, okay, all the drop D songs, so we don't have to be like, boo, beat, boo, beat. No, we're not going back and forth.
Yeah.
And to me, I notice a difference playing drop D.
Yeah.
Even for bass. Because I'm like, I'm not playing chords really, but of like sometimes like structures or like your patterns that you play. But it's mainly just like the feel for me. Gonna cut to the chase here. I don't like it. I hate the way
I hate it.
I hate it. I don't like it. I don't like the way it feels.
I don't like it.
I don't like the fuck feels. And to me, like sometimes the way it sounds, I'm like, oh, it's deeper, but it's just like.
Is this no definition or what?
Well, it's okay. So I'm just being super like picky and critical about this, and I was talking to yet again Johnny Ray about this, and to me, I'm like, okay, because I know he did this for a couple bands of his. He has the extender, the hip shot deal, to where you flip it and they'll bring it. I'm like, it's a cool thing, but I'm like, whatever. I'm like, I have no time because we do tuning breaks, so it's whatever. And it's like I can tune one string to drop D, whatever, pretty quick. So I'm like, I'm not going to do it. Maybe eventually, maybe I might try it on my P bass because I'm like, that's kind of the bass that's just like, throw more shit on there.
Yeah.
Leave it in the corner without a stand. It's
could
totally,
do that too.
yeah, it's totally the bass that you would do that for.
Well, you dropped it earlier, so.
That's fine. So I just like, I don't know. Like, to me, it feels, it's not like that I'm worried about like it, how quick can you tune it down? I'm like, to me, it's like I was like talking to Johnny, I'm like, oh, do you ever notice that your intonations, do you ever notice that like your intonation is off? That like, okay, like it's in tune, but like, the higher you go up, it's like, it's not completely
exactly
like,
where you want it. Yeah.
Dead on balls accurate is kind of what I'm looking at. It's like, whereas like I can intonate my bass and strings and everything and action to E, but I have to compensate and get D kind of there.
Yeah.
Which is still in tune because I'm looking at it with my fractal tuner. I'm like, it's in D.
Open.
In other notes are like, they're still in tune to where they should be, but they're not right in the middle where they should be. And I'm like, okay, so
is it lower? I'm guessing
it's higher. So I'm like, I'm trying to adjust the bridge, but I'm like, if I adjust the bridge for drop D,
and then you fuck up,
then I fuck yeah. So I'm like, it's slight. It's not even out of tune to where it's noticeable, but I can notice when you're like with headphones in and you're listening with like, like I said, like if I have my fractal and I'm looking at my notes and I can do this and I can do the strobe tuning, I'm like, well, it's a little bit off. And so I'm like, okay, it's just, it is what it is. It's not like, honestly, not a big deal. Nobody in the crowd is going to tell, whatever, but it's just me bitching. And then to me, I'm like, okay, that is one thing. I'm like, I don't like doing this because the instruments aren't supposed to go back and forth like that. But it's also like the feel of it, because the strings to me, like I feel like I'm like, it's a rubber band, like that you're just like, like the rubber band guitars that you take, like, it's like, hey, it's like boo 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 boo, like that's the way it feels, but it's totally in tune.
Why don't you just get two basses and
No.
Oh, okay, sorry.
That
was an amazing idea, but I can't believe you shot it down so quickly.
Yep, no, that's dumb. You take that idea right back and put it back in the mail and send it back to somebody else.
Shove it up your ass.
You could do that too. But I don't know. It's just to me. So I know it's me just bitching about it. I'll go into more thoughts on it. But what are your thoughts on drop tuning or alternate tunings? This is kind of what I want a loose topic here. Alternate tunings, Kyle, we do play in one.
Yeah.
But it's not that
half step down. It's just, it's nothing crazy.
It's nothing crazy, and I think we've gotten used to it. But I'm like, are these alternate tunings and weird tunings just like for like force a habit with the hands? Is it something to feel? I'm like, okay, what is it? Let's go off on it.
I think it's weird when I see someone in standard E. Actually, I'm like, grow up, dog. I did. But I sometimes do like.
Why is it like standard tuning? Is it just because like, well, that's what you learned in?
Yeah.
Try something else, bro.
Yeah, I've ventured so far away.
We didn't. We only dropped a step down because
half step down.
Half step down is because we recorded our first like full length album in standard.
Yeah.
And then we were like,
and then when it came time to sing those
live, and then like the recording process of like, I mean, the music is only a certain thing that you're like, oh yeah, what's the big deal? And once you do like the vocals, which you did pretty much most of the heavy lifting on that, I did like a song and a verse, really. And I did a couple backgrounds here and there, but you did most of it. And you're like dying every day of doing the vocals. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. And then once we got to like practice, like,
yeah.
And the guy who, our friend Roland, who was helping us record it, he's like, you guys should try tuning half step down. We're like, no. We kept saying no the whole time until we did it. And he's like, and then he was like, oh, we're doing practice. I was like, oh, how's practice going with it? And he's like, well, it's a little hard. I'm like, well, try tuning half step down. We're like, this fucking son of a bitch. Oh, he's right.
Yeah.
And we just got new strings, the thicker strings. And we're like, yeah, that's it. That's all we needed to like kick back into like doing practice. And so since then, since 2008, 2007, we've been playing half step down, and that's just what we do.
Yeah, it's been so long.
And then so I don't know, other people who play or hear us play sometimes, and like once we tell them like, oh yeah, no, we play half step down, it's like I've heard it from friends who are guitar players or whatever. I have friends. That sounded like what I was trying to say. Friends who are
humble
like,
brag.
Like I have a friend.
I got a friend.
I have no.
Yeah, I got friend in high places.
In mediocre places. So like you heard us play, and he's like, "Oh, cool." And he was like, "It's like, oh yeah, just talking about guitars." And I'm like, yeah, we do all our stuff half step down. We never change tunings from there. We just kind of like I don't like the idea of playing guitar with drop D or whatever. And then he's like, oh, wow. Okay, that's one explanation of why you guys sound so heavy is because you guys are playing just down more.
Yeah, we're so heavy.
I'm like, yeah, I think that does, especially when we hit those lower notes, like once we lock in, it's like, it's like we can kind of get a little bit, I don't know. And then he's like, oh, that's cool. So he had mentioned like, oh, that's one thing I noticed, like you guys sound heavier certain parts. I'm like, oh, it's not completely noticeable. It's not like we're doing like drop A or anything like that. It's like, or like we're doing baritone or 7 strings like that. It's like, it's just like a little bit like, oh, okay. You can still cut through, but kind of get those lower notes. That's why I think like, okay, what we play is not technically an alternate tuning, but it is. It is,
Sometimes I like to mess around and do the drop
D.
Drop D, so that would be
drop C sharp?
Yeah, if it's in So it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you have to rethink everything, but I eventually tune it back up. I'm like, not, it's just a different sound, and it has, different frequencies, I guess.
Yeah. One thing
definitely noticeable.
I noticed is like, I don't know.
We don't know what we're talking about.
No, I mean with bass, I know like when I feel it, it's not. It's like I lose my punch going to D.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
It's just like instantly, because I'm like, oh, we play like D sharp, but once we're playing E standard with the band, just in case, then we go to D, drop D. Just going from like, D sharp is where we play, or E flat, whatever. With plain, I'm like, yeah, no, that sounds great. You can hear the notes or whatever, the growl or whatever. I'm like, on the bass, I'm like, once I go to drop D, I'm like, it's just like, but it doesn't matter because it fits the mix and it fits the band. I'm playing correctly, but I'm like, it's just me bitching, like I said, trying to reel that back in.
You bitch a lot.
Yeah, hey, so it's my right, but it's my favorite things to do. My favorite pastime is just to bitch about things. So I noticed it's just for other people who played, drop D. And it's like for Adam, the guitar player for Just In Case, not to harp on that so much. But he plays really interesting chords. Like he's doing a lot of kind of like me as a guitar player, what I do for playing. It's like, you're the only one. So you make these chords and change them up and do the rhythms while you're singing, but also do lead lines with that. But he's doing them a lot with like drop D. And I'm like, haven't heard that, for lack of a better phrase, that flavor of sound, which he's just building by himself. There's some parts where there's breaks where it's just him playing. I'm like, that's cool. And I'm watching what he's doing. I'm like, he's, just a different chord variations that he's playing. I'm like, oh, I would have never played that in standard or your standard shape.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe I should try it. And then I'm like, I have Evertune, and I don't want to tune my guitar, so I don't. So that's like one of the barriers to entry for doing for guitar. But I'm like, I don't know. And then I think about it's not even just drop D. There's open G. There's open
Jesus
E.
Christ.
Oh my God. There's dadgad, and I'm like, because there's so many of them. I'm like, shit. There's slide guitars and stuff like that. I'm like, ugh. I'm just like, oh Jesus. So I'm like, I'm not turned off by it, but I just like maybe think I'm like on my guitars. Maybe if I like had some of my guitars set up for other tunings, which I have other guitars. I currently have 5.
Wow, Brian, humble Brian.
I could set other ones up, but I'm like, is it?
But why?
Yeah, I'm like, you and I. Maybe this is like you and I the same like. Yes, manning each other. Yeah, you're right. I'm like, to me, I'm like,
I think because ultimately,
why would
you use those guitars in the band?
Yeah,
and we're probably not going to change the tuning in the band.
Yeah, but we're at a luxury with us, which is now another humble brag. This is actually one. We have so many songs and so many good songs that we could always play for a show and live. That if we wrote a song that was only for the studio and for an album, and we never played it live,
yeah, who cares?
That's fine. Because we have a catalog of, I want to say, over 40 to 50 good songs, original. And then we have covers that we can sprinkle in that we don't have to play.
Until we move into our wedding band phase. And
then we gotta
like,
do all covers.
And then, but then someone's like, play that one really crazy song that has the weird tunings. And you're like, sorry, ma'am. Just doing my job. Not playing it.
Just the facts, ma'am.
I don't know what I was going to say.
Dragnet or something.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, so I don't know. Like that was like, we could write weird stuff. We don't have to like, I guess to pull the curtain back a little bit more, we always write songs to be like, we're going to play this live. How is this going to go live? But we have plenty of songs that we don't ever play live. What if we wrote songs weird and just do some weird stuff? And like tunings might be a good way to open your mind, man. The same way that you're thinking of people who
same
play
way when you drop acid and you do LSD,
or
bro.
Or you could just drop tuning instead.
Oh shit.
It's like how you think of like, oh, people who play standard E. You're like, come on, grow up. I'm like, what if we tried other things? I don't know. It's like, to me, like, just, I'm playing the other part here. What if we played other stuff? Whether I don't know. It's not a bad thing playing drop D. I did my bitching before, but I'm like, it could be something cool. Playing, drop tunings, alternate tunings. I don't know. I'm like, what are some good songs and riffs that maybe you guys, the listeners, like maybe some of you are stewing a little bit.
Like,
you're boiling, blood.
What idiots. They don't know nothing.
Skin's crawling. But I don't know if you have some good tunings and some good songs, maybe some good riffs that we could try. Maybe as a guitar players, Kyle and I could both do that. And maybe we'll get some ideas for the band. That may be kind of fun. I don't know. Let us know. We could try learning some songs and riffs and come back to you, report back if we ever learned anything. Because do we learn anything
Never.
today? Ever? Did we ever learn anything? Mostly not. But we like to talk about it, and we like to, riff on it.
Harp on it is probably better.
But let's, we are rambling on. I'm going to reel it in. All right, we're going to get out of here. But if you guys want to follow along with the Tone Jerks, you guys can do so on the internet. Follow us along on social media. We have an Instagram at the Tone Jerks, and we have a Facebook group. Just search the Tone Jerks and you will find us. We have a page that you can like. There is absolutely nothing going on there.
Stop telling people about it then.
I mean, we need the numbers. People do like it. People do are starting to like it.
Don't listen to me.
But yeah, join the group. Like I said, search the Tone Jerks and you'll find it. There's cool shit going on. But if you guys really like the show, if you guys remember earlier on in the beginning, I talked about $2 a month. That's not a big deal, right?
$2, man.
$2, dude. You guys can help support the show for as little as $1 a month. But if you guys double down for $2, you guys get an extra episode every week.
$2 though.
Yeah, we're doing a whole another episode. And there is a whole back catalog of over 60. I think we're getting close to 70 extra episodes.
Woo.
The premium jerk. You guys get that for $2. But just for supporting the show, we're gonna give you guys a shout out. So Kyle, you got a listy list going on?
I got one
to
right
me,
here.
Baby!
All right, we have Brian from Nutter Guitars, Nicholas Payson, Alvaro Viramontes, Colin Smith, Brett Alexander, Digger from Fatfoot Effects.
You're going backwards than you've done before. So I wonder if I just reverse this, so I can be like,
Bruce Banana, Sean Fahey, Stephen Conradi, Steve Mike, Sean Arbo from Gun Street Wiring Shop, Leon from Pelican Noiseworks, Kevin Equits from Equits Guitars, Will Lehue, and Joseph from Like My Pedals. They have a podcast.
Just surprised me.
Yeah, just surprised me.
Yeah, no, one of these days I told them I'm going to try and weasel my way onto their show. So, check them out. Keep an eye open. Just one of them. Johnny
Ray, Doug King, Doug Gann, and Doug Chris.
Man, backwards, this is so weird for me. I'm just in awe.
I've changed the order before.
I'm just going to edit it to my liking.
You're going to clip
it'll be
this all.
Clip show. Just
a lot of breath.
All right, come on.
Jason Fuzzmonger, Andrew Walsh, Michael Newman, Abe Newman, Adam Rohr from the Let 'Em Hear podcast, Co Schneider from the Flippin' Flippers podcast, Jamie Davis, Jim Bowers. That's it.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
I don't know what to do with myself. It's all backwards.
I don't know what to do with my mouth.
Oh, God. Yep, there we go. Bye, people.